Wait. That is definitely not my intro. What up, Internet? David here, and you're watching David vs. Wait, come on, guys. That's not it either. Onion rings are so damn good. Let me eat them if I could. I need to eat them right now, yeah. Oh god. What's going on, guys? My name's David and welcome back to this week's Buzzfeed test. Before we get started this week, if you know all three of the people that I just reenacted, hit that thumbs up and props to you, because that's pretty dang good. But anyway, this week's recipe is one that came out I think about a week or so ago and has already been suggested countless times by all of these people. Cheese stuffed onion rings. Now, I've done quite a few frying things in the past, and I feel like most of them have turned out okay. I could be wrong though, and I'm sure a bunch of you are about to go check through all my videos to see. But regardless, I am very optimistic about this recipe, so let's get right into it. Alright guys, for this recipe you are going to need oil to fry in, some flour, some breadcrumbs, a bunch of eggs, a couple of onions, and some thick sliced cheese. In the video they use mozzarella, but I'm just going to use this Swiss. So before anything else, you got to prep these onions, and in order to do that, you have to cut off the top, the bottom, peel the whole thing, and then cut that into nice wide slices. I got 3 slices out of this medium-sized yellow onion. Once you have done that, you're going to do your best to separate all of the rings, which was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. These things are packed in there like super tight, but just keep at it. I promise you you'll get it, and eventually you will get to this point. Now grab yourself your cheese and then slice them up into 1 centimeter wide strips. At this point, these onions started to hit me and I began to cry like me after watching the Titanic. Don't tell anyone I just said that. And start stuffing 2 layers of your onion with the cheese. It's kind of like one of those mix and match games, and you just gotta find one that's small enough to fit something in between the two, like so. So after I did that, I threw those all onto a cookie sheet, and then they have to go in the freezer for an hour. While they're in the freezer, I threw together what I needed to coat them, so I grabbed some breadcrumbs, a bowl of flour, and then a couple eggs and whisked those up. And after an hour, I grabbed them out of the freezer and then coated them with first the flour, then the egg, then into the breadcrumbs, then the egg one more time, and the breadcrumbs again. They should look like this if you've done it correctly. I repeated that process for all the rings that I had until I got to about here, and then just for good measure threw them back in the freezer for another 15 minutes or so. Everything is going oddly smoothly at this point, but let's not jinx it. I grabbed myself a pretty shallow pan and then threw in a couple cups of vegetable oil, put that over medium heat until it got nice and hot like this. The temperature I had it at, it took about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes on each side to cook these thoroughly through. Just take your time, try not to make a mess, and get grease all over your floor like I did. Mom, I know you're gonna watch this because you're not home. I cleaned it, don't worry. And after I cooked them all in the oil, I lined them up nice on a plate, threw down some marinara sauce next to them, and here we are. I don't know how many recipes we've done in a row now without any major issues, but this is getting pretty dang impressive. They look nice and brown and crispy and flavorful, so let's give them a try. So I do have a couple of concerns with these things, but I'm gonna try them out first. Alright, so number 1, this goes for all onion rings. When you take a bite of it, does the entire onion pull out of the coating, or can you actually take a single bite and then keep the rest? It passed that test with flying colors. The onions were nice and tender, perfectly cooked inside. I didn't have to like chew it extra or anything, it just broke right apart. A+ on that. But I kind of realized this when I took them out of the freezer. The cheese that I put in the middle, it just wasn't thick enough. It kind of just got lost, like in the onions, in the coating. You can't taste it, you can barely see it. So if you're gonna make this, make sure to use really thick pieces of cheese. This is just kind of like a thicker 2-piece onion ring. Obviously it tastes good because it's just fried onions and cheese, but that kind of was like the whole purpose behind it. So 6.5 out of 10, a slightly above average onion ring. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. If you did, like I said, smash a thumbs up on this one for me. Let's try to hit, what, I asked for 7,000 last time and we got it in like 2 days, so let's go for 8,000 this time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button right underneath this video if you haven't already. And of course, hit me up with more suggestions for recipes that I haven't tried yet on Twitter, Instagram, or right down in the comments. Other than that, have an absolutely awesome rest of your week. I will see you back here on Sunday for a DIY video, 100% no doubt. Peace!